Talking Guys, episode 12. How y'all doing today, guys?
Good, good. Preparing for the storm. Not really. Just kind of
Yeah.
chilling.
Wait, the hurricane that's coming in?
It's a tropical storm, not a hurricane.
Oh, it's a
the same thing.
Cristobal, right? Is the name?
I don't know. I don't know why they
What-
name storms.
what
It's
is
kind
it?
of stupid.
What
Storms
did you
don't
say
need
the name
names.
was?
I thought it was like Cristobal.
Cristobal?
Mhm. I'm pretty sure it is.
Sounds dangerous.
I'm gonna go ahead and just fact check that real quick. So hold up, boys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, as you can see, we're extremely worried. We're kind of prepared for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
We bought 2 months worth of supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole entire garage is full of water.
Yep.
Uh,
And toilet paper. But that's
Yeah,
only
you're
because we
right.
still
I
have it.
duct tape. I have flashlights. I have
He had all these things before. Just FYI.
me and Seth. We gained together and we made an entire irrigation system that pulls from the river and then cleans the water for us. So that way we're basically just safe now.
Yeah.
It's like Minecraft except in real life. Like that's what we've done to this house.
Yeah, I mean, it's my hours and hours on Minecraft that made me just so successful at life. So.
And your mom said video games were a waste of time.
Right?
Didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, there we go.
School is a waste of time.
Hey, dude,
Make sure
I
to
learned a lot of stuff from video
drop
games.
out of school and do not do anything but play games. That's actually
Mark Zuckerberg dropped out, right? So
I mean, those are facts.
That's true. And there's many more. Bill Gates dropped out. One of the richest men in the world. Not the richest anymore, from what I hear.
Nope.
But he's also been out of the game for years. He's quit running the company and just doing his
chilling.
thing.
He decided he's got enough going on for him.
Yeah, and those are just two examples out of the many that we could give you.
Of the multitudes, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know anybody outside of America, man. I'm American.
Yeah, I checked it. It is Tropical Storm Cristobal. So
Cristobal. Oh,
Who picks these names? Do they pull it out of a hat?
Well, I'm curious. So the way it works is, correct me if I'm wrong, but
You're wrong.
It's yeah, I know. I'm always wrong. It's A to Z, right? Is how they.
Yes, that I know, but then how they pick in that area? Also, again, why name the storm? It doesn't make it nicer or friendlier.
Could they just name it like Storm 109?
Yeah.
How about
why-
just that storm that's a brewing?
That's
Yeah, who decided on the A to Z, anyways? I mean,
A to Z makes sense. Naming it does not.
well, no. Why does A to Z make sense?
Because in order, and then restart.
No.
If you're going to name it, you might as well follow a logical pattern.
But I feel like numbers would make more sense.
Yeah.
It's like it goes forever.
I'm still in the boat of not naming them. Speaking of boats, I might need to be in a boat later this week.
Or later today.
Maybe later today, early tomorrow.
Don't say that. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And don't say early tomorrow because I have to go to work tomorrow and early, so I don't want to have to drive through tropical storm. Cristobal, is that it? Cristobal?
You mean you don't want a boat to work tomorrow morning?
Unfortunately, though, we bought too much water and toilet paper. We don't have room for a boat. So
yeah.
You can't always be prepared for everything.
Right.
Well, I got the little the inflatable tubes that you put around your arms, so we're pretty much safe in case it gets to that.
What color are they?
It's actually Hello Kitty, so it's like pink and white.
Nice.
Nice, yeah.
What, you got something to say about that?
No, not at all. That's
okay.
terrific. I'm just surprised that they made them in your size.
I had to get the extra large kid youth size. Sorry,
youth.
And it does fit. So
yeah, I have no idea if it's supposed to head this way eventually. But,
I mean, you're like super north. You might get a little rain. But
I was gonna say
you're one of them Yankees.
No, the only benefit I would get is cooler temperatures because it's hot here.
It's hot here.
Yeah.
It's muggy. I guess that's the best way to put it. It
It's
doesn't look like it's hot, like it's overcast and
it's
like
like
kind
a
of dark outside.
sauna.
But if you go outside, it's literally gross. Like if I go outside with this jacket on, I just feel gross.
I'm working on building my desk back there, and every time I go out to the garage to cut something or sand something or whatever, yeah,
Start
it's
sweating.
I'm not yeah I'm sweating even though I'm not really doing anything. It's great.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
that air conditioning, man.
What's an air conditioner?
No idea.
Oh, that's what them fancy rich people have, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but no. Speaking of AC, of all the jobs that are what?
okay,
I'm
continue.
waiting for the question. I have
Yeah,
no
of
No,
response.
I'm
all
saying
the
like all
jobs.
like the trade jobs, right? So you've got like
Mhm.
carpentry, HVAC. You've got people that do flooring. You've got people that are electrical. You got plumbers. I'm pretty sure.
Construction, welding.
Yeah, I think out of all those, HVAC would be like the least desirable one, right?
I
No.
mean, I've only done HVAC, but I did not desire it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you have to go into attics are
yeah, I
insanely
did it
hot.
for like 3 years,
So
and there was a time like after it was 3:30, 4 o'clock, we were not allowed to go in attics anymore.
yeah,
Um,
you'll pass out if you.
we had to use
Maybe
it. We had to use a
like if you're
thermometer before we went in, just to make sure that or like one of the infrared ones, like scan it to see how hot it was up there.
yeah, especially in this southern states. But I wonder actually if location makes a difference in the pay grade, right? So if like you live in like a northern state, maybe because AC is not used as often.
Well,
If,
a lot of northern states don't use central air. They have just like the window units that they use, a couple months out of the year.
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's
that'd be
expensive
preferable, I
to
think.
have the AC units, and they don't really need them half the time.
More than half, way more than half.
They
Yeah.
really need the heaters. The heaters is the biggest thing. Yeah, because
That's
it
what
gets
jackets are
cold.
designed for.
I mean, I agree with that. You can always put on more clothes. It's not socially acceptable to take it off once you get to a certain point.
Well,
If
not
it
yet.
was, I mean, summer wouldn't be as bad. Let's be real. Walking around, nothing on, that'd be fine
Yeah,
for the most part.
just the way God intended.
Just the way, yeah, exactly. Like, let's go back to nature, how it was before it got all complicated, and we'll have to wear clothing and
No, you go ahead and do that, Pat.
have
I'm gonna
bad
keep the clothes I'm
fashion.
wearing.
It's just like, ugh. You see those people walking around, you're like, what are you wearing? We could solve
I ask that a
all the
lot.
world problems about what are people wearing if it was just everybody was wearing nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
You know?
I'll go ahead and start.
We could put TLC out of business. It'd be
Why?
all their little fashion shows that they have. We're gonna remake your fashion for you because you're a 40-year-old dude that doesn't know how to dress. Just be gone. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, well, not just TLC though. You've got all the brand clothing companies, right?
I was talking about the TV station.
But
Or
yeah, but I mean,
the
you'd put them
band.
out of business, but you'd have to worry about the.
Woo!
I'm tight.
You good there, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's pushing the tropical storm, man.
Oh yeah.
There's also the fact that I'm doing some sanding inside, probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna timestamp that. It's gonna say in the description below. Patrick sneezes. Oh, we're just
I
gonna go
didn't
ahead and
even
throw it
truly
out there.
sneeze. I half sneezed because I didn't want to go full.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
No, I want to get back to that maybe. You'd have to worry about the clothing companies, right? Because you said TLC, you've got the shows that are based around modeling clothes, showing clothes, designer
Well, I
clothes.
mean, the modeling industry, everything, it would all be shut down. Instagram
What does
models, would
TLC
they even
stand
matter
for?
anymore?
No idea what TLC stands for.
The
Do you think they
Learning
would have
Channel?
like
The Learning Channel. I think
Yep.
that's right.
the?
Anyways,
Yeah, I think it is
I liked
actually.
watching a lot of like home remodels and stuff on there
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. Like
The,
Trading
the
Spaces. That was so fun.
yes, that was a good one.
It was
Trading
a great
Spaces.
one.
See, I was trying to think of the names of the shows that I used to watch because I have lots of sisters, and they would, that's what they wanted to watch. They wouldn't let me watch like cool cartoons or something, and I watched so many of those shows, and I
Yeah,
couldn't tell you
same.
half, which is actually sad. My brain's just degraded so much
Yeah,
as I've gotten older.
during our
You know,
school lunch break, we would either watch some like Trading Spaces or something like Gilligan's Island or something like that.
ooh,
TV
Gilligan's
Land.
Island.
So basically TLC or TV Land
Well, yeah, but I mean, for the most
or
part,
Family Feud. That was on a lot.
a lot of those shows, I mean, you can pick up stuff, right? Like, not exact
I picked up something.
step by steps, but there's probably some stuff that you can learn. Hence the learning channel.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, you can learn even if it's just like home decor, like what looks good with what. If you just pay attention, you can learn that. Even if you can't, put stuff together with your own hands, you can still learn, what looks better whenever you go out and buy stuff.
That's why
Yeah.
my room looks so good.
Yes, that is why.
Nope.
I paid a lot of attention.
Yeah, there was a lot of thought put into that room.
Hey, look it. You see the cat color? See the desk. They match. All right. I chose my cat to match my dresser. Gosh, guys.
Oh my god. That's exactly how we picked the cat. It's not that we walked into the shelter and said, what cat has been here the longest? And that's the one we took.
That's
It's because of the dresser.
Yeah, you wanted one that matched.
Mm-hmm.
they're like, she's 2 years old, been here for like 7 months. And let me tell you, this little kitty cat, compared to what she acted like when she first got into our house till now, complete transformation. She turned from a very quiet, caring, sweet little thing to a monster that kills everything, that meows at us, that wants attention. It's actually insane. I don't understand.
Yep.
Just needed a home, man.
Yep.
I really don't understand who got rid of her because she's
I
cool.
no idea.
Loves my mom.
Turns out she loves being an outside cat too. Because the other day Patrick left the door open, and she disappeared, and then she came back, and so now we've just been like letting her in and out nonstop.
And you're sure it's the same cat?
Yes, there's no doubt that it is the same cat. Because at 5 o'clock or 4:30 ish, she does nothing but scream at you until you feed her.
Yep. And then at 5 in the morning, she does nothing but meow at me when I'm trying to get ready for work to give her food. And I'm like, I'm not just stop trying to wake this dude up over here or there. I think it's there. Yeah. Over there and shut up. I'm going to feed you. I always feed you. I do not forget to feed you. But those are things, so
Are you sure that someone had actually dropped her off at the shelter? Because I know cats are known for breeding, and there's a lot of strays.
Wait,
So
cats breed?
no,
Oh, okay.
that's a lie.
I have no idea.
I guess we're not really sure, but she looked what do you call it? She didn't look like
Well
she'd been a
maintained.
street cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I mean, I know she'd been at the shelter for a while, so maybe they had like cleaned her up and taken care of her, but she did not look like
So
a
she
stray.
didn't have a gang affiliation then.
No,
No.
no
Yeah.
tattoos at all either.
No. She does have claws though. So it was like, I mean, we do we're like we thought about it, but I didn't want to declaw her. These are claws.
No.
Well, isn't there
Man.
a
They need
point
to
in
hold
time
on
though?
to their little apex predator. She thinks she is. She's not.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a point though where it could become detrimental to the animal to have them declawed after a certain age? Or am I just
It's an extremely painful thing to do to cats in general. So unless you have a really good reason why you're doing it, which I guess there are maybe some good reasons out there, but I mean for us,
Yeah, and if you declaw them, you've got to keep them inside because they won't survive outside. won't be able to
Yeah.
climb to get away or fight or whatever they might need to do.
Yeah, that's
Well, our old cat, Coco, had her front claws actually declawed because she wasn't supposed to be an outside cat, but she wanted outside so much that eventually basically the same thing kind of happened. She just got out one day and well, many days, and my mom and dad finally just gave up because they had kids that would constantly leave the door open or not close the door quick enough, and the cat would just get out. And that cat did get beat up a couple times for sure, but she was outside. She could climb and everything with just her back claws. She could jump up like 6 foot tall fences with no problem. But I definitely think it's like you should let them have claws because it gives them an extra. Having their front claws and back claws is how they were made, man. How they were supposed to be.
why would you declaw the front claws, not the back? Is that a typical thing that happens? Or, I
Because
don't know. I don't know because I've got dogs, so
they scratch things with it. So it's really not that they scratch you. It's that they go into your house and they find your couch. Yeah, they find your couch, your bed, the carpet, and and to basically decrease the.
Length.
It's like cutting your nails.
Yeah.
The cats use it to cut their nails. It's like how they in their natural habitat they would like scratch something that's hard or like bark on a tree or something and it clips their nails for them and keeps them at a manageable level. So they purposely like scratch them all the time because it actually hurts if their nails get too long also. So they like keep them down like a human would basically. Yeah, same kind of concept, you know. Your nails get too long, then if you put any kind of pressure on the nail, you know, you can rip them off. It hurts real
Yeah,
bad.
and you know they retract them into their paw, so I'm sure if it gets too
Yeah,
long, it doesn't really retract properly.
yeah, like
right.
Wolverine.
Yeah, just like Wolverine.
Yeah, straight up.
No,
Wolverine.
why just the front two though? Is that a common thing where people just have one set declawed and not all four paws?
I don't
Yeah.
know this for a fact, but I don't feel like their back claws grow like their front ones do. Because I don't see. I mean, I've never seen a cat, scratch their back claws. So I don't know
Um,
that for a fact, but that's just what it seems like. It's constantly, using our scratching post or our couch, depending which one's closer. Uh, and yeah, but never on her back. Which so I don't know. I don't have everything set up properly to fact check myself real quick, but
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, for some reason, it's not the same. Like they don't uh do the same processes. Now I have seen cats that will like bite, like they literally bite their nails, and they'll like with their mouth and clip them that way,
that's
and they'll
how
do
you
it on their
bite.
back claws. So they do the same kind of stuff. Um, but their front claws, they pretty. I mean, they do both of that. They'll bite them. Sometimes you'll see them biting them. Like if they get a hangnail or something, they'll literally bite it off until it goes away. It's actually it's very interesting. I don't know. Cats are strange.
Nature.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
know what to do to like be fine, survive. It's in their DNA. You know.
Yeah. So before the show started, Patrick had received a package from Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and Seth had brought it into the room. I saw the box, and I instantly recognized where it was from. Do you guys ever get that like sense of anticipation and excitement when you see something that you've ordered that's come in?
Well, I mean, it's as soon as I click the order button or like place order, it's anticipation, just waiting. I'll honestly check it pretty regularly. Is it out yet?
Yeah,
It's
but I
just
mean,
kind of sad.
you don't feel like a kid
Kind of sad.
on Christmas Day, like when you get the Amazon package, and everyone knows it's because the tape that's used. So it's a very very distinguished tape. So everyone knows that. Oh yeah, that package is from Amazon. But you guys ever get that excitement when you see it and it's like, well, yeah, this is what I ordered. It's here.
I don't know because I think most of what the Christmas anticipation is not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
But so like I know exactly what's in that box. I'm like, hell yeah, it's here. I can finally do whatever I was planning on doing with it because I mean, most of the things I buy off Amazon are because I'm working on a project or something, and so I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and once it gets in, I'm like, all right, I can move forward. And so it's more of a I'm glad it's here, but not really that anticipation because I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same way. Is to be honest with you, I order stuff all the time, and it's like I don't even check it. I just let it come when it comes, and then I'm like, ah,
Oh,
cool, it's
I
here.
mean,
Bet.
with Patrick, I mean, the other day he got a box in and it sat on the table for who knows how long until he actually opened it. Like, I mean,
And Seth was like, "What's in it?"
I'm like, why are you buying these things if you don't even care about it?
I do. It's just I got other things to do, and if I know it's something that I'm not gonna use that day, it's like whatever,
Yeah, my sister's ordered so
man.
many packages, and they're just sitting at the entranceway, and they've been there for probably a couple of weeks now, just stacked. It's like, why? I mean, the first thing I do is when it comes in, it's like immediately I open it, because there's a chance it could be like a damaged item.
That's true. And it's also, I'm not gonna order something unless it's something that I feel like I need. Um, Whether it's, a new streaming camera or something like that. Like, so it's something that I actually need. It's not just like, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna buy it, because I never get on Amazon like, scroll. It's just I'm on if I need something.
Yeah, I've actually I only really buy if it's like ships from and sold by Amazon. Now there are a couple of third parties if it ships from, but as long as it says like sold from Amazon, I'll buy it if it's something that I'm looking for. Because I've actually had experiences with the like third parties because Amazon, has a lot of third party markets that they will sell items from other people,
All right, but you don't get the 2 day
yeah, other
shipping.
other companies. Well, not as the 2 day shipping, but the like the warranty. So I've got a story. So about 2 years ago, I had actually purchased a. Actually, no, I'm going to back up. I got my car that I currently drive, and the stock exhaust that came with the car, um, is quieter than what you would expect that exhaust to be for the style of car it is. So I wanted to buy an aftermarket exhaust. So I went to a website and had purchased an exhaust that actually one of my friends has the same exact exhaust, and so I liked the way it sounded. I already had an idea of what to anticipate, or I guess what to expect with that exhaust, so I knew what I was getting into. So I buy it from this website, not Amazon, but another website that sells like American sports car. Typically, it's mostly Ford um, products, aftermarket products, I should say, and I buy it. It's 6.99, 7.99, whatever it is. It's a significant amount of money.
An $8 exhaust.
Yeah,
Wow.
Damn.
Hey, all.
and so I purchase it, and I see it's on back order. Okay, I give it a couple of days, and then I call their customer service. Like, hey, I see that I've been charged the full amount, but this item is on back order. When is this item expected to ship? And they said that the manufacturer had delayed shipments to them, and they said they actually weren't sure how long the shipping process would take. They said it could be a couple of months,
Oh no.
and I'm like, well, I just
Oh,
spent over $800.
I want it now.
Yeah, it's like and that's the thing is I wouldn't mind if they didn't charge me until it shipped because I know Amazon does that for like a lot of pre-order items. Um, but that's a lot of money to just be sitting there, not accessible for months for an item that I'm not sure when it's going to arrive. So I told the guy, and he was very polite. Nothing against him. He was a very nice guy. I told him, I said, "Hey, man, listen, I just want to go ahead and get this canceled." I said, "You've got to understand, where I'm coming from. Um, I might need that money. You don't know." He said, "Yeah, no worries. I understand completely." So he went ahead and canceled it. So I went to Amazon. I bought an exhaust off Amazon. Just a heads up to those that are looking to purchase car parts on Amazon. Be careful of what you purchase and who you purchase it from. So I had bought this other exhaust. It was slightly cheaper. And
That was your first mistake, buying a cheaper
well,
exhaust. Okay,
no,
continue.
it was still a reputable brand. exhaust. So it wasn't
How
that
much
it
cheaper?
$200, $300 maybe.
Oh my!
I mean,
I'll just say this.
are we
So
talking like head or back, cat back,
just catback.
cat back?
Yeah, so I'll just say this: the exhaust I have now is significantly more than both of the other exhausts I had previously attempted to purchase. Uh, so I went for the cheaper one on Amazon, still name brand, and it wasn't shipped or sold by Amazon. But I had never had this issue before buying anything from Amazon, so I figured, okay, well, it's not something that I was looking for. It's not something that I was looking for. When I say ships and sold by Amazon, items I had purchased before probably shipped and sold from other third parties, but I never had issues. So moving forward, this is something that I now keep in mind when I'm buying something from Amazon. So I buy this exhaust, it gets shipped to me, it gets shipped damaged, and the box it came in was damaged, and the packaging was incredibly poor. Whoever did it did a and just a absolutely awful job at actually packaging this exhaust because wasn't great. So
You
I'm
took
upset.
pictures?
Well, I didn't have to take pictures, so I started the return process on Amazon because I've returned things through Amazon before and had no issues. And they said, well, because it wasn't shipped or sold through Amazon, it's not covered by their A to Z guarantee. I said, well, what does that mean? And they said, well, right now it's up to the seller to determine if they want to refund you. Oh, okay. And so they gave me the contact information from the seller. And so I contacted the seller, waited a couple of days, no word. Called Amazon again. They said, okay, well, there's not much we can do. Try again. If you don't hear back from this date, they can step in. I said, okay. So I contacted the seller again and I said, hey, I tried to get in touch with you guys, a week ago. What's going on? This item that you've sent me has been damaged. I wanted to just send it back. So they finally replied and they said, okay, but you're basically on your own for the shipping costs. I was like, no, that's not gonna work with me. I contacted Amazon again. I said, hey, I've been an Amazon Prime member for like 7 years now. I said I've got in contact with this company. They're refusing to pay for the shipping. Uh, I'd be out of pocket for something that I had no control over for the the item not arriving as described. And I said, okay. So they got in contact with the third party vendor that had sold the item to me. Got it worked out, so I was able to get it shipped back, and I didn't have to pay for the shipping. But that's my story, and that moving forward, anytime I've ever bought something through Amazon, from that point on, I always made sure it was shipped and sold through Amazon, just because you can run into issues like that where that seller doesn't want to uh, make it right. So
Yeah. See, I bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards before from third-party salesmen, and I've had some issues with like the quality of the product where they're kind of scratched or whatever. But I'm not a collector. I just wanted the cards so I could make like a deck that could beat my friends. So it was like whatever, and they didn't return them. But yeah, I'm always wary. Same with like buying off of eBay. That's why I rarely ever use eBay because I've heard too many horror stories of people
yeah,
You just have to
having
you have
awful
to
experience.
research
Yeah,
what you're buying because I bought plenty of car parts off of eBay. But it's all about researching the company first. I've never been disappointed with what I received. Because it was, figure out the actual company. Because I've seen plenty on there that when I actually look into them, like, yeah, no, that's not going to be good
yeah,
quality, or it might even be just a straight up scam. But if you take the extra time, like I've gotten plenty of things at a really good price, um, that were the actual product. Like so, like on my Integra, I had what were they? Raceland, racing cool. No, they're True Heart racing coilovers, and I got them for like $200 cheaper than normal through eBay. But I did all my research, and it was turned out to be an overstocked item somewhere, and so they were selling it for real cheap, and they were exactly what I was expecting. And
See,
Okay,
I
say like
usually
200.
look into the sellers and see what their ratings are, like overall ratings of what people have said when they bought from them, if they're good or not, you know?
Yeah.
And if they're too low, I just don't buy. Even if the price is really good and everything, I'll just be like, nah, I'll pay
Yeah,
more
but I
money.
mean, I actually have it sitting right next to me. Oops, I bumped my camera. The this right here. What color is that? You know,
It looks
Pink?
violet.
violet and pink. Okay. Yeah, I ordered that, and it's Vivid. It's a Vivid wrap, which is a good company. But I ordered purple, but through a
Wait,
third
is
party.
that a poster for your back wall?
No,
Oh,
it's a window tint. But I ordered purple from a third party, and that is not purple. Not the purple that they pictured on the site. But it is like it's vivid, and it really is vivid, and which is a good quality. But they talk the wrong color, the wrong picture with it, or whatever.
So are you getting a new
No,
shelf?
did not cost enough for me to bother with the return and stuff.
wait, you wanted to tint your windows a purple color?
Just
Just
my
white.
motorcycle's front screen. It was gonna be a
Okay.
darker purple.
How's that coming along, man? The colors, I know you had texted us a long time ago, and you
Yeah,
were
I
gonna
mean,
get
I did
ideas. What
the
happened with that?
I did the basic color, so it's the I don't know the name. I can't think of the name of the color, but it's a blue gray that's now pretty popular in a lot of newer cars. I know the Charger has it, the Civic has it, the Toyota Tundra has it. It's like this weird looking gray. But now my entire motorcycle is that color, which I absolutely love the color. But the other stuff I was talking about, I haven't done yet. So
Okay.
it's one solid color currently, but the other stuff has not been done because, well, what I wanted to buy, I had to have custom made, and with COVID-19, they were saying it was unknown when they could do it. So I'm just like, you know what, I'll just wait, as I want to know, I want a date. So
Yeah, you're still going with the two-tone scheme, right?
yeah,
Yeah, dude, that's
Gray and purple.
hmm
yeah, I can see it.
It looks nice so far. And everything looks good. Took off all the pieces and painted them
they
slowly but surely.
I have painted multiple vehicles, different things, motorcycles. Um, this one was the hardest. As I, like removing the stuff properly, because it's a, for those who don't know, it is a newer CBR, which comes with the CBR decals, and those were not easy to take off and do well. And then I had to resand everything, and then the so it was actually quite a process. Whenever
The
like
decals, are they like indented, or are they just stuck on there?
they're stuck on there, they're just stuck on really well. So like
What
they're high quality decals, which
what did you
makes
have to
removing
sand off?
just the excess that did not want to come off because I didn't want to. I had to actually use a blade to get it off, but I didn't want to go too deep because then I might scar the paint and then have to sand down all the way to absolutely nothing. I'd rather just rough up the paint and put another layer on it. So
You didn't do the like the floss and the hair dryer method?
no, I did use. I mean, I have some pretty good heat guns used for different stuff. And I used those, but it didn't really even work.
Hmm.
So I just a really nice razor blade and a lot of patience.
How long did that take you to do?
I mean, the whole entire paint job took like 2 weeks of just working here and there, between actual work and streaming and stuff. It was just like in like different times that I had the ability, but so it's hard to say.
Cool.
Now that he has a garage, it's like kind of just go at your own pace
Yeah,
for most projects, including like the one he's doing right now. It's like there's no hurry to get it done in one day. So
it's
you step at
I
a
absolutely
time, get to
love
where you
having a
want.
garage though, like because I love projects, and it's living in an apartment for the past 4 years has been a pain in the ass because I still want to do stuff, but I don't have any space for it. But now I've got a garage. I'm able to, for one, bring my tools from Texas, and for two, buy new tools, which I bought like 3 in the past 2 days. Uh, but yeah, it's nice to be able to build my little collection without having to worry about space.
Cool. Hey,
Hmm.
so
And
Patrick,
mm,
you've got your car. You're buying a new car. What color are you buying? Because I know Seth had mentioned, this gray and purple, right? Is what you were looking at on your bike.
yeah.
Yeah, no, what is the color car that you buy and
Oh,
what accents do you have on it? Like if
if I
you can
get to pick
decide,
the color
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
you can
car,
decide what it is.
I mean, I know this is probably uh my preferred way of a car looking would be either all blacked out, so like all blacked out, like gunmetal black, like not shiny black, like matte black. So it's just blacked out, or blacked out again because I just like the way black cars look, man. They look dope. And then put like red accents like on the wheel trims, maybe around like the uh like around the windows and stuff where it has the lining be red, and then like around the side mirrors red, and just have like wherever the pinstripes are, if the vehicle has them, you have red, and then the whole rest of it black, and then like the wheels would be red.
What car
Um,
is this?
uh, I don't know because I'm one of those people that like I like cars, or I don't dislike cars. I don't love them. Right? It's just like they're part of what you a necessity in life. So I stray far from what y'all kind of are into. So for me, the number one thing I look for in a car is just that it will run for a long time and not break on me. And and so as long as I keep it maintained, oil change it properly on a frequent basis, change my tires, that'll just, go for forever. So I'd buy like Toyota or Nissans maybe, just cars that I've done a lot of research into, and usually older cars because depreciation. If I had somebody paying for it, then it would be one thing because then they're paying the monthly payments. Hell yeah, I'm gonna buy myself a nice car. But when I'm paying for it myself out of my own pocket or whatever, because that's where I'm at currently in my life and my career, I'm gonna buy something like a Toyota Camry, 2010 or something. Something that's old, but you can put 200,000 something miles on it and it's still gonna run properly, and it has good gas mileage because gas is gas. And while right now it's super cheap, so having like a truck or something would be more tempting, I guess, than in the past. Because back 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was like $4 a gallon, $3 a gallon for these just ridiculous amounts of money. Even worse than that in other states. Texas had okay gas prices, like
Yeah.
California, it was like $6, $7, $8 a gallon. I remember when I went and dropped my sister off from college. Like we dropped her off. This was her first year of college. This was Taryn. So this was in like 2009, right? She We went to Chicago and we were in downtown Chicago, and there was a gas station in downtown Chicago. And for regular unleaded gas, not even their premium, you want to know how much it cost for 1 gallon? Like
For
insane. It blew my
25.
mind.
Seven
No,
fifty.
nope. Higher than that. It was $9 a gallon. $9 a gallon for regular unleaded fuel. I was like, get out, dude. I'm not. I I cannot believe that. But I know it's in the city, and they frown upon you using your own vehicle in the city. They would prefer that you walk. So if you go farther out into like, you know, outside of city limits, you can pass. That's actually
And I
prices.
mean, I guess that would affect supply and demand, anyways.
Yeah.
If you're in the city and not many people are buying, then they got to charge more per gallon.
Yeah, I want to get back because I'm going to ask Seth the same question I asked you, Patrick. But like
Blacked out and red accents with
three
red
years
rims.
ago,
That's that's what I'm
gas
trying to.
here dropped under $2, and it stayed under $2 since then. Well, depending on what kind of gas you get. Um, so I'm very fortunate where I live that gas is incredibly affordable. I put premium in mine, so I use 93. But still, I know it was expensive for a while, and then it dropped. I said under two, and it stayed under $2. And I think right now it's like $1.55
Oh
maybe
yeah, it's
for
nice.
the unleaded. Yeah,
I filled up on 152 yesterday. Well, unleaded was at 152, but I used 93 also.
Now it's not
Highly
good for the
recommended.
oil industry, but and the gas industry. But hey, it's nice for us.
yeah. Seth, the color card that you're getting.
Mm,
Dude, I don't know if you can, he's like Mister. I'll choose different color schemes every time.
Okay,
yeah,
no.
I mean,
Here, let me rephrase that. Realistically, the next vehicle that you buy, because I know you had recently purchased a car in the last year or two.
so
The next car that you purchase, the color of it is stock, but you decide what the stock color is, or if there's accents that you add, or whatever.
so I guess it depends. I'm planning on about this time next year, so a little over 2 years with my current car, trading it for a new truck. If I do that, it'll be white,
Okay.
with black accents, just because I really like that look. But if
Mhm.
I, instead decide, because the current car I went with was a compromise for me because I drive so much. The car I wanted, I didn't want to put that kind of miles on it, and it also has just worse gas mileage. But I have a current, it's 2019 Civic Sport. I want the Civic Type R, but I didn't want to put those miles on it. So if I don't go with the truck, I would trade it for the Civic Type R. Once I get my next promotion, because then I won't have to drive as much. Um, but that one will be, if I do that, it will be that gray color that I was talking about, which then the Type R comes automatically with carbon fiber and red trim accents on it. So it'd be the gray with the carbon fiber and red trim.
Okay. Not the white.
No, no. I really like that gray on it. I love it.
I don't think
Great.
I've actually seen the grid before because
It looks
I've only
nice.
seen a couple. I've seen them in black and I've seen them in white.
Yeah. So, like I said, Civic, Charger, Challenger, and then the Toyota Tundra, I know come with its stock, and they've got like three colors that are just, they're not normal. They're hard to explain, but they've got the gray. They've got a green, like a more of an like, you know, olive green, and then a tan. All that have this weird little look to it. I don't even know how to explain it. But if you see it, you'd actually like look at it, and be like, okay, that's not a normal color. I don't know. Those colors just came out in the. I think I started seeing them in 2018, but I like them a lot.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So the car that I drive, the color it's blue. I like it. Um, but the lower, because I drive a hard trim version of this of a Focus, and the base model Focuses are offered in like this aqua kind of blue color. You guys have probably seen it before, but they don't offer them on the STs. And it's kind of unfortunate because you would think that the higher that you go trim wise, the more you pay, you would have the options of all the previous colors that are tiered below that. It's like the top trim models would have the available would have all the colors accessible to that trim
Um,
because it's
I mean, in what I've witnessed, a lot of cars, like their top trim models, come in very specific colors, and a lot of times it is colors that you can only get in those trims, just as another way to distinguish them.
I guess that makes
Um,
sense.
but
Still kind of sucks though if you want that color, but yet it's like, well, I don't want to drive that version
right,
because I like the one I've got, but I want that color. But
yeah,
no, yeah, what you're saying though, I mean, it makes sense that because like you said, the Type R is only offered in what like four colors maybe
I think
versus
it's
like
only
a
in
standard.
no, yeah, it's in four: black, red, gray, and white.
And
I
it
think,
was the
which at least I think I've seen the red.
was it the Integra Type R that was offered in yellow? I know we didn't get that here in the States, but
Yes, it is.
makes you wonder why the well maybe it is over in the other countries if they've got it in yellow, the Civic Type R, the new one.
Um, yeah, I mean, maybe I haven't seen one.
So, what's your opinions on exclusives? just in general. Things that they do this stupid thing where they're like, well, you can only have it if you live in this area or own this certain thing.
Oh, like region exclusives.
Just yeah, just in general, just exclusives. With like the PS4, they say, well, you can only get these games on PS4, or like what you just said with the vehicle. Well, you can't get that color if you don't live in this area. Like that's kind of just goofy.
Well, I mean, in my opinion,
Offer it to people.
in my opinion, I mean, like when you do it for like cars or something like that, I don't. It doesn't matter because you can import a car. It might cost a little more than you wanted, but you still have access to it. If you talk like games or whatever, that's you've got to buy a whole new system just for a game. That's I don't like that at all. I mean, there's
Yeah,
plenty of games that I've
the
just
comp is a
decided not
reason
to
why.
play because I didn't have the system for it.
Yeah.
But like with a car, you can import it, and then it's just rare, which is always fun to have. I've got this yellow Type R that's right hand drive. Like even if the car is it's not worth 40,000 to $50,000, it's still extremely rare. You can drive it around without having to drop a ton of money on getting a McLaren or something.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, it's all about the money, though, right? For the exclusives, because for the longest time, you have these companies that are producing these games for specific uh, manufacturers. So, say you've got, for instance, Bungie. Back in the day, they made games for Microsoft, so that was like their sole partner, and then they left and they got absorbed by or I guess Activision had purchased them, and so now they make games for both platforms, and well, I guess all three, including PC. I think it comes down, Patrick, to your question. I think it comes down to money. I mean, what the IPs that you have, and what companies, whether it's Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony, um, which of those three will pay the most for that IP, for the exclusivity.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's down on money. I just wanted to hear what
Yeah,
people's
How
it
we
sucks
feel
ideas
about
are,
because
it.
that like, oh, only a certain area, because this isn't just exclusive to games. That's why I didn't want to phrase it as just games. There's other They do this all the time for all sorts of things where they, know,
a lot of times though for
only
cars,
one
I mean,
city gets an exclusive showing of this or whatever. I'm just like, are you guys a fan of exclusivity and just like being like, to make it more special, we're gonna, even though it's the same product or whatever, just a
I'm
little bit different,
oh, I
you
guess
know?
I misread the question then, but yeah, no, I can kind of see the appeal to that. If this one area has it, it makes it, I guess, something that is more of like a privilege, or it's something that's cool that other areas didn't get that. I can see that, but I could also see the other side where if your town or your city didn't or wasn't participating in that event, or show, whatever it was, how you could be upset. But
right.
I feel like this is one of those things where you just have to chalk it up to hey, that sucks, but maybe something else will come and we'll get, and they won't.
Yeah. So I mean, it's for me, I guess when it comes to exclusives, some of them I like, some of them I don't. Like I said, with the cars, you can import them, so they're still attainable. They're just rare. But then you've also, Patrick, you've heard me back when we played Fortnite, like just be super annoyed that when they released the Skull Trooper to everybody, like because it's something that you got back when because you
Oh
played it
yeah.
earlier in the game, and you were the only people who had it if you played season 1 or 2 or whatever it was. But then they decided to release it. Now everybody has it. So and it's like,
And
man,
that
you
was
get nothing
disappointing.
for. I mean, Destiny
Yeah.
did that on a lot of things as well. Like where you have something, and then all of a sudden they just let you be able to get it. And so you're like, I worked so hard to get this. I've been loyal to this game from the beginning, or whatever it might be, and now they're giving it to everyone else. But then on the opposite end, I want it.
Right. I think I'm like, I like exclusives to an extent. Yeah, to an extent. There's sometimes when I'm just like, this is, you know, goofy that you're doing this. But like you said, like a great example is like the Fortnite, where you get these skins in season 1 or 2 because you were playing the game before all these people jumped on and started playing it. You know, you gave them the support, you gave them financial support, money, because a lot of people that bought the game, you know, that started playing the battle royale, they had already bought the game. So they had actually given the company money in order for them to operate and continue to make the game better. And then you still give somebody 7 seasons later the option to buy the skin. It was like, you know, it was cool to get to be one of those people that, hey, I started playing this game before it became this ridiculous
Hmm.
thing. I've supported it this whole time. You know, the least you can do is let me keep my skin that's supposed to be exclusive, because it's like a way to be like, hey, I'm one of the originals. I'm an OG, you know?
And also in stuff like that, like when it's related to like a game, it can come with a a little bit of fear whenever you fight them or something. Like, so let's just
Mm-hmm.
keep on Fortnite. When you see a Skull Trooper or you
You're
see
like,
a
oh
Dark
crap.
Knight, you're like, oh man, this person's been playing for a long time, and also back. So let's go with the Dark Knight. That was season 2, I think. But you had to get all the way through the battle pass. You had to put in a lot of hours just to get it. And so when you see it, you're like, oh man, this person knows what they're doing. And
Yep.
and then when you start just releasing it to everybody now you're like, oh well, it's just another skin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
because
a
I remember Skull Trooper was like that. Like where literally you saw Skull Trooper, you're like, oh God. Run! Go the other way. We'll see if somebody else kills him. I'm not good enough to face this person, probably. Unless they're just like somebody that got it and then never play the game again,
Right.
which
You
could
never
happen.
know.
But
Yeah, no, there's a uniqueness to it though, and I realize it's just being at the right place at the right time. Um, but there is a it's a feeling that you've earned it. You worked hard for whatever it was, and it's something that you got, and you're proud to show off because not everybody has it. Another example, in Halo, you had the flaming helmets. No, no, it was Recon. It was Recon armor was the biggest thing for Halo 3. And originally, the way it worked is Bungie would have um, events or tournaments they would hold, and they're very rare and very inoften. Is inoften a word? Not often.
I don't think inoften's a
I'm just gonna
word.
say not often.
All
Yeah,
right.
maybe
they held
unoften, but
these.
maybe it's
Yeah, they held
not
these
often.
events not often, and whether it was they would actually play, and if you beat them, they would give everybody on the team that beat them recon armor, or they would hold photo, I guess, tournaments, or because in the game you could take like pictures, and so what they would do is they would find people that take these really cool photos, and every so often they would award the person with the coolest photo recon armor.
That's
So
pretty
it,
cool.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
it was this really highly sought after in-game item that showed, hey, this person earned this because they did something that not everybody is able to do. And
Right.
so there was a rite of passage to wear the armor. And I remember when ODST came out, which was a follow-up game to Halo 3. They had these things called the VidMaster Challenge achievements, and they were these incredibly difficult achievements. And for probably half of them, you actually had to work with other people to obtain these achievements. And I think there were 7 or 8 that you had to do. And then once you had completed each of these achievements, and like I said, most of them were group effort achievements, you would be awarded the recon armor to use in Halo 3's multiplayer. And that's how I obtained the armor, was through doing the challenges. Um, So I thought that was neat that they still had the uniqueness, because these challenges were incredibly difficult to do. So it's not something that everybody was able to do. So, but yeah, that's just another example. But like I said, I think it just comes down to the being at the right place, at the right time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I definitely like, which I mean, you made me think about it when you're talking about how to get that armor. But like, I like it when they do like dev challenges or developer challenges. So you like where you actually, because I know Destiny did that, where if in Destiny 1, they were like, hey, we're going to have a team of devs on playing trials at this time. If you play them and beat them, you get this. Um, which obviously also made Trials of Osiris super difficult at that time because everybody who was anybody was on.
Yeah.
But it's cool like that, and where you know, I like it when devs do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they reward your efforts.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, you beat us at our own game, so you have clearly earned the right to whatever this is.
right. Yeah.
So,
Well, like RuneScape, that's the game
oh
I
boy,
play. It's an
oh boy.
old game back to
Anyone can play it. You can download it on your old Nokia. It
right,
doesn't matter.
like no
Or
joke.
you just you burn fish, you never played ever again.
Which was one of the things that made it so appealing is because anybody could play it. So you didn't have to have this amazing computer. You just had to have a computer that could run something decent.
It can run.
But
Just run.
as a
Just turn it
kid,
on.
I grew up in a family where they wouldn't buy a good computer, so there were many games, including like World of Warcraft, that I could never play because
The Oregon Trail.
it could not meet the graphical requirements for minimum to play it. So it was highly disappointing when you got a game and then you couldn't play it. I had it happen multiple times. Now that I'm older, I bought my own computer, so I don't have that ever happen to me. But it's quite frustrating. But RuneScape does that where uh, they have like year capes where if you've been in the game for 5, 10, 15 years, you have a cape that you can unlock that nobody can have unless they have a 15-year-old account. So, like one of my accounts has a 10-year-old cape, and it's a big like Roman numeral X red cape with like black, and it just like sits on your back, and you just walk around, and people are like, "Damn, for forever." Even though he's a noob, he's still been around for forever. But they
Yeah.
also had things where like um the first 99 skill you get, you can like get it it'll become okay, so the first cape you get will be untrimmed, and then every cape after that you get a trim around the cape, right? So people will like purposely play the game in order to get their skill to 99, and then every time they pick up or every time they get another 99 skill, they'll drop their cape so that it won't trim it. So when they're finally done getting all their 99s and being a maxed account, they'll have a cape that's not trimmed, even though it's supposed to be trimmed. It's just stuff like that. And there's no way to get it. Once you screw up, there is no way to get it. They also have another one where I think it has to do with Slayer Cape. And if you get your Slayer Cape to 99 without getting like 99 health or something, or 99 in another combat stat, you get a special Slayer Cape that is extremely hard to achieve because most people don't do it that way. So you have to start doing like Slayer from the very beginning of your count all the way to the end. So stuff like that, I think that's cool to put into games because it gives somebody that likes doing that. Hey, I have this little extra goal. Is it really that big of a deal? No, most people might not even know what this means when they see it. But to me, it's like, hey, I got this cool thing that nobody else get unless they play the game a very specific way or show a lot of love to the game that they play by being there for a very long time. You know,
Yeah. Hey, I got a new topic for you guys. What is one of your bad habits?
what?
I know,
That's
completely.
really personal.
I
Oh
oh
God.
like let's say bad habit or a toxic trait. So we're gonna go with bad habit, right?
Yeah.
Like okay, bad habit.
I'm acting
Oh.
like I'm thinking, but I already know.
And say it, because I'm seriously thinking.
Oh my God, come on, man. Yeah,
Want me to go
um,
first, Patrick?
that's fine. Go for it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
I chew ice.
how's that a
Like,
bad
It's
habit
bad
though?
for your teeth.
yeah.
Oh, it is.
Super
Mm-hmm.
bad for your teeth.
Incredibly bad. But like,
Gosh.
I'll finish what I'm drinking, whatever it is. If there's ice in there, I just eat the ice and start chewing it. And one of these days, I'm probably gonna chip a tooth.
I mean, I don't know if that I guess that is a bad habit. You gave me some clarity because I was gonna get like super deep, and now I'm like, all right, fine. I don't have to tell him too much.
Now, this is a kid
Um,
show.
I have lots of bad habits. Terrible.
Well, then it should be easy for you to name one.
I guess probably one of my worst bad habits is uh, being like having an addictive personality where I get way too into things that don't matter. Or so like smoking is an example. I smoke cigarettes right now. Why I do this, even though I know it's bad for me, don't know. I just do it, and I have a hard time stopping it. So, and if I were to quit cigarettes, I promise you I'd find something else. So, um, as like a bad habit of mine is just like we could go be more specific and just say like smoking cigarettes. Like I know it's not a good habit to have. I just like it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I cannot tell you a specific reason. It's not like it's like makes me feel great when I smoke cigarettes. I just like smoking them. Even though I know they're 100% verifiably bad for my lungs and my health engine.
I don't know. I haven't seen the science behind it. I think you're fine.
Shut up. I like smoke. I've always been. I think it's a psychological thing because I think smoke looks cool. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I have been smoking
Not
something
actual
since like
advice.
17. I mean 18 because that's general legal ages, even though now it's 21. Anyways,
17 or 18, Seth?
it was at some age I started smoking. It was definitely 17 because when I went to my first hookah lounge for sure. And no, I was 16.
How did you get in?
Anyways,
like
and I was
He got in through the door.
yeah, and also my beautiful face. So, but
You
yeah,
didn't have
no,
a
my
beard back
first
then.
time
You
to
looked
actually
young.
smoke something was a Black and Mild, and I was in
Mhm.
Florida with Mike, and I was 16 or 17. And then when we came back, then went and tried a hookah lounge, but I mean, yeah, I've been smoking something because I enjoy it's the act of smoking. It's not I am not even slightly dependent upon nicotine or anything like that. I can go a while without it, and whether it's cigarettes, which I don't smoke anymore, vapes, which I also don't smoke anymore because I hate how hot the air is, and then or like shisha hookah. I just enjoy smoking and like blowing smoke rings and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that I wouldn't say that's a bad habit because that's something that I could stop any minute if I wanted. Cause like I said, it's not a nicotine dependency. I mean, I can go weeks without smoking. Um, but I'd say my bad habit would probably be um I don't. I mean, I always have something playing, whether it's like in my ear through a headphone or the TV on in the background or whatever. There's always noise going on, which probably I feel like it's probably a bad habit because I can't. I mean, it's like if I walk to another room, if I'm gonna be out of like the room I'm in for a little bit, I'll turn something on my phone or whatever. If I'm in the
I noticed that. I do that a lot too.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Like
Yeah.
I just I know why, but we're not getting into it. Um, so but yeah, I'd say that's probably my bad habit.
Cool.
Are you gonna change yours from ice to something a little bit more serious, buddy?
Nope, I'm sticking
No.
with
Okay.
ice.
Cool. Word. Respect. I should have come up with a less serious one. Damn it.
No, it's okay.
Um.
That's why it's a good thing I let off because then I would have to top what you guys said. So
Yeah,
Bad
there we go.
habit. I wash my clothes. I throw them on my bed, and I never actually like make them into like fold them. That's a terrible bad habit I have right now. Facts.
just get
There's mine.
hangers and hang all your clothes in
That's
your
what I.
closet.
That's what I meant. You can edit out all the other ones before that. Seth, what's your real bad habit?
My real bad habit is energy drinks.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We've covered that. Awesome, man. That was crazy. I can't believe we came up with those bad habits so quickly.
No, this is staying.
No.
No, I mean, you do know that I can edit anything before I send it to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's fine.
yeah, the I've got one more question before we finish up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what's a state you want to visit that you have not? A state in the U.S. We're gonna keep it local. Um, that you've not visited but you want to, and why?
I've got mine. Do you have yours, Patrick? I went first last time, so I
Just
don't mind waiting.
no, just go, dude. I gotta think. I've been to a lot of states already, so of the ones I haven't been to, I have to think of like what.
Well, I mean, I guess if you've been to the place that you think would be the coolest, but you've already been there, and so nothing else you feel like would top it, you can say that place. But as and then why you think that place? But
I was gonna say California. I've actually not been, but what?
nothing. I love California. It's a great place.
No, I was gonna say the reason behind it is, I mean, I think it would be interesting, to go downtown Los Angeles, visit Hollywood, the Chinatown.
See all the bums. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I think
Apparently, it's really bad out there. Like,
yeah, I mean, probably right now, but
they
I
like hide
mean,
it really well, and you don't really know it unless you live in LA. But like, apparently, it's like awful. Like, if you go to Hollywood to get to Hollywood, you have to drive through like there's just like thousands upon thousands of people just living on the streets out there. Crazy.
yeah, also
well,
Seattle.
aside from the
Seattle's the
homeless
same way.
population they have, I think driving around town or downtown would be kind of cool. I mean, like I said, Los Angeles, Hollywood, San Diego, visiting the beaches, I think would be kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that part of it. Like going to San Diego, seeing well, and then like seeing like maybe the Golden Gate Bridge too. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Getting to go to some of the really popular beaches, and then going and visiting up like in the mountain areas of California, which a lot of people don't pay attention to, but apparently are extremely beautiful. So, um, that's up north by like Washington and all that.
I mean, that is that's something I'll give California as being cool is, how long it is. It's got also like it hits from, the more desert type regions down in the south to, your really good weather and just pretty like in like San Diego to your, mountain ranges just because it stretches, the majority of the length or the height of
Yeah, it's got
the
every kind
US,
of biome you could almost think of. It's actually
which is kind of
crazy.
cool.
And
yeah.
it's attached to the ocean. So you get to see the ocean, you get to see lakes, you get to see mountains, you get to see deserts. They have a desert, they have mountains, they have oases, they have tons of trees. It's actually crazy that Texas is a lot like that too, though, where
Yeah,
depending on where you are in Texas, like it just
different
looks
climates
completely
for
different.
sure,
Yeah,
but
it's pretty
there's
over.
nothing like mountain range or anything in Texas.
If
Like
you
real
go up to
pretty.
the very top of it,
Oh, not
where it touches like
it's
Like
hilly.
Arizona, around Arizona,
It's
right?
hilly.
Arizona and Colorado and all that, like goes up and touches that little panhandle, or I don't even know what you call that. Like, what is it? The head of this? I don't know. I really don't know. What
The top of Texas.
the very top of Texas. If you go past like the Oklahoma border and it wraps around and it makes that little, thing that it's famous for, the little that shoe or like box that's on
I
the
feel
top
like you
of it.
should know what this is called if you call yourself a
I
Texan.
should, but I
Wow.
don't.
Wow.
Geography was not my strong suit in life, dude. I would say for me, off the top of my head, without really thinking about it, is like I think I would like to go see because I'm gonna go somewhere where I haven't been before. Because there's a lot of places that are very beautiful, like Glacier National Park in Montana is amazing. Highly recommend it. Probably the most beautiful national park in all of America.
Okay.
Yellowstone and the rest are not as very as good
What
looking.
about Tyler State Park?
Tyler State Park is not, but I have great memories there. Fantastic place to go. If you're gonna go camping with your friends and just hang out for a weekend or two, it's cool. Anyways, I would say I guess I would want to go to like Niagara Falls, maybe,
Oh, those are pretty.
because I've heard it's like
Definitely pretty.
super super pretty and just that area's really pretty, and I've never gotten to see. So
I
that's
would.
one of the few big national things
They're
that
very
I've
pretty.
never gotten to see yet. Yeah,
I saw them when I was a lot younger, but yeah, super pretty.
jealous.
Oh, one place I would recommend for anyone who has not been, and also like I mean, I don't think people think about it very often, but it's extremely pretty. Is the Upper Peninsula in Michigan during the summer, during the summer, and like Mackinac Island, which is right there in between the two peninsulas.
I
Um,
could believe it.
but it is extremely pretty. Like I mean, just Google yourself some pictures, like, and it'll make you want to go. But I would definitely recommend those places, which is not somewhere that people would just think about going. When they're like, hey, let's go somewhere pretty. Like you wouldn't. Most people don't think about it. At least I've never heard anyone mention it. But I've been there and it's beautiful, and I'd love to go again. But let's see, a place that I would pick. I mean, I obviously want to visit, all the different monuments and stuff, the things that we're known for, whether it's the Golden Gate Bridge, Statue of Liberty, the Grand Canyon. Those are places. I mean,
Oh,
I've never been
yeah.
to any of
I've
those,
never been to. Yeah.
but I plan on going to each one of them. But that's not what I'm talking about. I also think it'd be cool to go to New York City just to see the scale. I've never been there, but
It's
those aren't places I would choose.
Crazy.
I mean, I'd want to see it. I don't think I'd enjoy New York
it
City.
gives
I
me
hate
social
crowds.
anxiety. I
I hate
went there and
crowds,
I
but I
was
think it'd be
like,
cool to
get
just
me
see
out
like
of
the
here.
scale of the city. Because right now, like the biggest city I've ever seen is, like your Dallas, your Fort Worth, your Atlanta.
Oh
Like
yeah, it's massive.
and so I'd like to be able to see that.
Well, hey,
But
if you went a month ago, you'd probably be able to view the city without worrying about all the crowds.
yeah, true.
Yeah, everyone's
Also,
inside.
and we were rated, in the same category as New York, so I wouldn't have to do any quarantines.
Because
But
everybody was already sick there.
yeah, and also here. So, but yeah. So the place I would actually choose to go would be Boston. Just
Boston.
a lot of culture, a lot of history, and I've never. I mean, I've been to like Virginia and Carolinas on the East Coast, and I like those. But I've never been to like the Northeast Coast, and I've heard a lot of good things. Plus, they're known for, their like clam chowder and
Seafood.
stuff. So something that I've never tried before. Well, I've never tried, other than out of like a can.
Authentic clam
Yeah,
chowder.
so I think it'd be a fun place to go and just experience something completely new for me.
Yeah. Hey, to those watching and listening, go ahead and let us know in the comments where you would want to go.
Yeah, or awesome
And
places that you've
why?
been.
Where you'd
Yeah.
want to go and why and what you would want to visit there. Because, I'm going to make a list and I need specifics. Okay.
Yeah,
Can't just be like, I want to go to Tejas. Okay. Nobody wants to go to Tejas. Greatest place to live ever, though.
yeah, great
All those
place,
exes.
great place. And then, as long as you're not in Houston.
Yeah. Facts.
Well, I think that's gonna go ahead and be it. Go ahead and be it.
Go ahead and be it. He can't do it
I
now.
haven't even been
He
drinking
can't do
today,
it
guys.
now.
We totally brain.
I think we're gonna go ahead and call it. How's that?
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
This was episode 12. We just want to do a quick shout out to the people that have subscribed since the last episode. Last time I checked, we have gained 15 subs in a week. So
That's awesome.
thank you very
Wow.
much for those that are just joining us. Hopefully, you're in it for the long haul. On this journey with us together, as they would say. So we appreciate you subscribing and checking the channel out. So
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
We enjoy doing this, and we have no plans on stopping. So, stay tuned.
Not yet, at least.
Whoa.
Next week we'll reconsider, but right now,
Yeah. But so far, so good. We continue to keep promoting having guests on too. So there will be more guests. Not every episode, but
Yeah, we may have one the next couple of
throughout.
weeks come on. I'm not sure if that's set in stone yet, but look forward to that. So definitely keep letting us know in the comments because I know we're having discussions there. So anything that we talked about or anything maybe that you guys want us to talk about in a future episode, let us know, or even check the Facebook page or the Twitter page and tweet at us. Both of the social medias are going to be down in the description. You can click those. Just have conversations with us. So we like talking with you guys. So if there's something you guys want us to talk about, or even want to have a direct discussion, because we're pretty active in the comments too. So let us know.
Or if you have something you want us to talk about in our next episode, feel free to say it. Like we're not very selective. We'll talk about anything that we have any sort of knowledge on, and some things that we don't.
Pat plays.
Pat plays, and this is 100% universally agreed upon.
Universally, everybody in the entire universe has agreed upon this.
Yep.
All right. Well, with
That's
that
it,
being
guys.
said, damn it. Now I can't even remember
Like,
how bad I
subscribe,
can't remember how
click the
badly
bell
you
for
screwed
those
up the
notifications
other
when we
part.
post our videos on Monday. And we appreciate you tuning
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
in. Thank you
best
so much.
outro ever.
Yep.
Peace.
Have a good night.